It's the Rollup, it's the vibes. We here at Pick Goods, store owner Doug Ramos, Kenny Shaw. Doug, tell us what you got going on.
So we're a vintage clothing store located here in Tallahassee, Florida. Dealing a lot of vintage, a lot of sneakers, but our big thing here is the vintage Florida State gear. It's our bread and butter. It's what everybody wants. It's what that's how we got started. So.
Word. What would you say is like the most rarest piece you have in the building?
Ooh, in the building, it's gonna be on the wall. So our wall is like our museum. It's what I've collected over the last couple of years. So up on there is a track and field warm-up jacket from the early '60s.
That's my dad style.
Yeah,
hey, you see me? Hey, get the camera on me. Look, I got my dad style. We fathers now. Like, nah, but I like the store. They showed me a shop, and I said, man, I'm gonna go in there. And then it was a 2-in-1 when they said you went to school with me at the same time, and we got a young Seminole on the making.
There you go.
But it's nice, man. I got to give it flowers when it's due. I've always been a thrifter. I guess I get that from Mama Shaw. That's what my old school style tuck-in shirt. A6. Who knows?
No, man, you look most comfortable in the building. So.
Yeah.
So what made you get into this business?
So I've always loved old stuff. I went to Florida State, got a degree in history, and I just always love history and old things. And so I've been buying and selling antiques and collectibles like for the last 10 years. And one day I was just out looking for antiques, digging in a closet at an estate sale, and found an old sweatshirt. And then it was kind of like, just took it from there. So it started off real small. It was never supposed to be a store. It was just 2 racks. You know, we would set up at bars and stuff like that, and people just loved it so much. And we did that for a couple years. And we always deal with rain and the heat and the weather and people's schedules and stuff. So I quit my job. I turned to my wife and I was like, hey, I kind of want to open a store. What do you think? And she was like, okay. So, you know, she held it down while I opened that, and now, now we got this. So.
We gotta love that, man.
Yeah.
Hey, what would we do without the women?
I don't know what I'd do without mine.
No, literally, we was talking about that fresh off the golf course. We was talking about like we go through a little bit of depressive times when we lose our identity and what we think we're supposed to be at, and just to hear that you persevere past like, hey, I'm quit my job and just take a risk. And I was telling him, jumping to a nonprofit, that world, and just uncomfortable from football. So and I guess these little things like this make you figure out your new why, and
put everything in perspective.
And I was saying that we the only ones stop ourselves. So like you just hearing you started out small, but you didn't see the bigger picture till you're really locked in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I guess one thing I've always learned is life's always evolving, it's always changing, and who you are today may not be who you are in 10 years. You just kind of got to be open to that change.
100%.
I mean, you get that,
I got it.
It's football, it's one thing, and then, life changes and you pivot.
Let's talk about that. I mean, me and Kenny, we talked about different transitions and whatnot and career fields. What kind of roadblocks you face with transitioning from college and then to this new venture that you got going?
So I came to Florida State, so I swam for Florida State my freshman year. That's what brought me here was swimming, and I'd done that for 8 or 10 years prior, so that was kind of like my identity. I'm like Doug the swimmer. That was my identity. And when I quit that, it was the best decision I could have made for myself at the time. But it didn't make it any easier. I mean, that was my thing. It was my my morning practices and my afternoon practices. Those kind of kept me structured, and now all of a sudden I had like what felt like unlimited free time. And so you fill that in the way any college kid does. Party, hang out with friends, and waste time. But we it taught me a lot about myself, and I met I became closer with my future wife, and that kind of led to that, and took a job here in Tallahassee working for like an awards and promotional products business, and then you know, they were great. I can't ever knock them. They were always good to me, but just always wanted to do something on my own. Even if it meant working double time, you know, I always want to do something for myself. So that was kind of that transition.
Nah, hey, we got similar adventures, and that's why sometimes you don't know in life who you gonna meet, who you gonna come across. So, you know, in my nonprofit, I mentor the youth. So a little trick and trade is, you know, just be nice to people because you never know who you're gonna come across again in life. What favor you might need, anything. And I know as men, we lock in a lot of our anger and our life's battle and deep in us, and we don't know how to fully let it out onto the world. So now I felt you on that, almost like a damn near a legacy, and that's why, you know, we all got to leave this earth someday. So I guess when you look at it, it's like this little one right here with the helmet on. He already got some things in his name. All my rings from my days that's in his name. My nonprofit, hey, he gonna be running that shit. Whenever I leave this earth. So I mean,
that's what matters, man. Who you touch, people you touch, the lives you touch, and the difference you make. You know, you can be great at something and make a lot of money doing it, but
from I guess my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off, brother. From a fan aspect, and from you never know who you may meet and being nice to people. Have you ever, like you here with a whole goat, Ken and Shaw? What type of legends have walked through your doors and bought some of your products?
We've had a lot of people come in, but I will say one of the coolest people that came in, totally unrelated to FSU. We have Paul Pierce come in.
That's dope.
With his son was here doing they were doing basketball camp, and it was kind of cool to see because, you know, obviously he's moved on from his career and he's doing his own thing, but he was really just here like strictly for his kids. Like he didn't want to take any pictures. He didn't want to like call any attention. He was here for them, and so it was kind of cool to see that, you know, that transition. So, you know, no FSU relation, but you know, very cool to meet him and have him come in.
No doubt.
Any 2013 memories that pop out to you? I know we in the same class.
Oh man,
how was that year for you? I always like to hear from the
2 years of 0 losses. I mean, you know,
can't beat that.
I always tell people, you know, it was hard for me watching the last couple of years because you look into the student section on TV and it was just, I mean, there were some games you could just lay flat. And when I was in school, I mean, you were standing side to side. I mean, you weren't, you know, I remember jumping up and down so much that the bleachers we were on came out the concrete. I mean, it was...
What?
Yeah. I mean, it was, you know, it was just such a different energy. And, tons of good memories. I mean, I think the one that really, the memory that sticks out for me so much is my first game, but that was 2011. It was when we played Oklahoma.
Oh,
you remember that when Oklahoma was like 3?
Yeah, they sandwiched my ass.
They did. I'm sorry.
Oh man, that was the loudest.
It was my first game as a Seminole, and it was my first home game as a student, and it was just. I mean, I'll never forget it.
No, hey, that was a very loud stadium. I don't think it ever got as loud as that day. They squeaked away with the win, but I feel like we got cheated and we were just as good as them. But regardless, hey, life's about memories. I'm happy y'all reconnected with you.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate it, man.
Not love.
So much.
What type of outcome you guess you looking for today?
I just want to see some good. I mean, a win. You know, we want to get a win, but we just.
What you predicting? What you thinking?
Ooh, score-wise?
Yeah.
That quarterback plays. It's different.
It'll be close, to be honest.
We don't know who's playing. That makes a difference.
That's true.
So
their quarterback's injured.
I guess we can do a score prediction.
I think if he's healthy, I think it'll still be a close game because I think they're coming into our house. They're ranked. We're like kind of the team to beat in the ACC. So
score prediction. What you got?
Any kind of cakewalk. Ooh. Let's see. I'm gonna go 35-31 Florida State.
I think we win by 14 plus.
Okay.
Comfortably.
Okay. I hope so. I hope I'm wrong.
What's that? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's homecoming, so I think we're gonna go in there and kick ass. So I'm gonna rock with 14 plus as well. I'll say 40 to 17. That's what I'm rocking with.
That's ballsy.
Yeah.
Hey, wrap it on that. Wrap it up with that. 40 to 17.
Wrap it up.
You feeling good? What the hell you got going on?
Shades,
Yeah,
it's the shades.
40 to